Is graphic design dead? Hey gals and guys, Christine Maji here, aka Design Gal. I got this video topic from someone on Instagram and they simply asked, is graphic design dead? In this video, I'm gonna give you my personal opinion on this as well as my recommendations for those of you who wanna be graphic designers in this so-called dead industry. So with the explosion of UX, UI, product design, it's easy to see why some people are saying graphic design is dead, or they're wondering, am I gonna have a job? Is graphic design still a thing? Am I in the wrong field? And I get those fears. I would be asking myself the same question. However, I'm here to tell you that no, graphic design is not dead. A little bit of my background, I am currently a product designer, but before this, I spent several years as a graphic and web designer. I went to school for graphic design. It was really my passion for a really long time, and I don't regret that at all. I actually don't think there's ever not going to be a time where we won't need graphic design in some form. As humans, a lot of the way we perceive and understand the world and even communicate is through pictures, through images. Before we had written language, we were making cave paintings, right? These are very ingrained things in our mind. Babies, before they can talk, they still dream in pictures. We still have this sort of innate visual communication that we all understand. So all that just doesn't go away. We will always have that sort of need for a visual way to communicate. So as someone that worked as a graphic designer, I understand the value and the impact graphic design can have on culture, on businesses, on building a brand. Using graphic design as a way to communicate, send a message, or to represent a company, all that stuff doesn't just disappear because now UX design is hot. It's just not true. I think there's always going to be a need for corporate identity, so logos, package design. We still live in a physical world with physical products. Those products need packages. That'll always be a thing. Advertising, printed material, the list goes on. The need for these things has not stopped, and I don't think it will. What I think this question is getting at, though, is this a field that's going to have a job for me if I pursue it? Like working and making a career as a graphic designer, is that possible these days? Is it a good idea? Should I be looking into something else? I get it. And I will say this, that graphic design is not as in demand as UX or product design, UI design, these types of digital product kind of roles. It's just not. That's a fact. Because of economics and what society values right now, digital product design is hot and they are paying more. There are more jobs in that field. But that doesn't mean that there are no graphic design jobs or that you can't make graphic design your career if that's something that you really want to do. So I was kind of curious. I looked on Indeed at a few different big cities and I searched for graphic designer jobs, UX design jobs, product design jobs, and I sort of started to see the pattern. Definitely the most jobs around product design, UX design, and definitely fewer jobs in graphic design, and they're not going to pay as well. But they are there, they are needed, and you can have one of those jobs. Someone needs to fill them, right? Might as well be you. And you can make graphic design a career, still. So if you're sitting there and you're thinking, okay, I'm a graphic designer, I want to do graphic design, but I want to adapt and evolve and make myself more marketable, more competitive in the job market since there are fewer roles, here's some things I would do. First of all, I would not focus solely on print design, and I know in colleges especially, they kind of tend to teach mostly print design. If you love that and that's what you want to do, definitely learn it. It's super important, a lot of transferable skills. But I would also learn as much as you can about digital design. So whether that's for web, for social media graphics, for UI design, just even the principles of using graphic design in a digital space will help you a lot. So for example, if you really love making social media graphics or like online ads, you can also learn like social media marketing skills, for instance, where kind of those two coupled together can make you a really strong candidate for a certain role. I would also look into visual design roles. A lot of the work is very similar to what you would do as a graphic designer. So things like the branding, the design system, the typography, like everything that goes behind the visual look and feel of a certain product or business is handled by a visual designer. You don't need to know UX to be a visual designer. You don't technically even need to know how to design for UI, although it would help. Visual design is really in charge of Usually it's things like marketing graphics or some light web design, and these jobs tend to pay really well and they are in demand as well. So I would look into that if you were curious. So all that to say, graphic design, not dead, but if you want to bolster your resume and make yourself more marketable or have maybe more access to more job postings, look into these other things, build up your skill set, and you might just find yourself as a very competitive graphic designer. I wish all of you graphic design hopefuls the best of luck. Graphic design is really fun. It's a really creative job. It's probably one of the most creative jobs out there. It's great to see something that you worked on, like on a big billboard or in a big advertisement somewhere. It's just a really cool job to be able to do graphic design, and sometimes I miss it. I'll admit, I like graphic design a lot. So if that's you and you want to be a graphic designer, I hope this video helps you. I hope it gives you some encouragement. Bottom line, follow your interests, follow what you're good at, and that's really the most important thing, right? So go forth, graphic designers, go forth. Thanks, gals and guys, so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.